Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you very much for joining me here. I hope you're having an amazing day, of course. Happy 4th of May. May the 4th be with you. And we're going to take a look here at Zilliqa because the fact that it actually has a leg to stand on here today so far. I also got a tremendous amount of requests, so that's the main reason for this too, because I want to make sure to get you as much up-to-date information as possible regarding these coins that you want me to cover. And here with Zilliqa, yeah, it's an interesting thing. Just before we get started though, if you are new to the channel, not a financial advisor, I hope you can learn something here today. My goal and my passion is to help you become a better trader. So big picture, if you want to do that, CryptoCache.tech is a site, link in the description below. I have a trading academy, a community, and of course a signal group where I send out signals for every single trade that I take so you can learn how to structure your trades effectively. One-click follow is also an option. Once again, CryptoCache.tech. So here's the thing with Zilliqa. It's interesting in the sense that we had this significant meteoric rise followed by a strong sell-off. Big surprise. This is the main reason why I do not love parabolic increases, because they result in a Fibonacci retracement of 0.382 or 236. In other words, this one came all the way down even lower than 0.236, and we should expect that to be a potential resistance. Bottom line here is that when you see a retracement that occurs as a result of something getting hit really hard, in other words, this got hit by 380% in maybe 5 to 7 trading days. So just say 1 week worth of trading, we're up 380% on Zilliqa. While that's all well and good, that price point can rarely maintain itself. Because again, it came up too fast. Standard deviation kind of tells us it has to come back down and contract. A lot of times it'll come down to the 0.5 and then consolidate. But in this case, we saw 0.382 and 236 as more likely candidates here, of course, because it consolidated right here at this Fibonacci level of about, I think it's about 11 cents is a close estimate. We lost that, went down to 8 cents, lost that as well. Now it's a tentative resistance. So just because today's a nice green day doesn't mean it's going to break through that level. We also got to understand too that Bitcoin had a pretty decent day so far here. So we're at about 3.5% up from 37,500 to 39,000. That increase is really causing a shift of momentum from a lot of coins, and they're all bouncing back pretty strong. Once again, this is tentative. Try not to get too ahead of ourselves, okay? That's all I ask. It'd be great if we could see a continuation, but we should not expect this kind of behavior again, okay? And in fact, we don't want that behavior. We want some nice, healthy continuation patterns that work its way up slowly and naturally so we can sustain that price point with good volume, all right? Anyways, that's kind of just some big picture stuff there. Let's look at, of course, the specifics. We can see the price is trending really close to the 200-day SMA as well. That's also an important factor. We've been under that for 4 days here so far, and we want to make sure that we can close above. So if the price can close above somewhere in the range of 7.65 or basically 7.65 cents, we're going to be looking in pretty good shape, okay? That'd be a much better situation. Looking at the RSI, we can see this inevitable bounce, which makes perfect sense. If you see the price comes down as low as 30 on the RSI, it's very common for prices to recover and to bounce back. So we're tentatively at the bottom for now, whereas we can kind of expect 6.7, 6.6 as the potential bottom here. And what I mean by that is if we bring this over here, we can go ahead and see previous resistance is now a support level, but more importantly, we probably have a decent amount of volume here as well. Take a look at the volume profile. There's actually more volume higher at 11 cents than there is at the current price point. So that's concerning. Just keep this in mind because there could be a lot of potential resistance there at that point. But if we only look at 2022 here so far, we can see the largest amount of volume is once again right at 11.1 cents. Okay, so all in all, we're under some key level resistances. It'll take a little while to get back there. So if the price were to continue to steadily increase, just keep in mind we should see some resistance at 11 cents. It's not, that's a ways away, honestly, considering we're only at 8. But generally speaking, that's something to be aware of. Taking a look at the 4 hour, let's go ahead and get back over here and take a look at the moving averages here. We can see, of course, that the 50-day SMA is working its way down. That's a common one to try to get back up above. Right now, I think Bitcoin is testing it's that same exact moving average. So it'd be interesting to see what happens here soon with Zilliqa. But generally speaking, we can break above and close above 8 cents. I think we'll be in much better shape to be able to continue this progression. Okay. But all in all, the 4 hour looks pretty decent. What I mean by that is if you look at the RSI, it's up over 50. It's a very healthy thing to be back up over 50 on the RSI and not overextended. So even though this was a pretty significant little increase here, it may not look like a lot, but that's 20% that is actually sustaining itself quite well because of the fact that we're not overextended yet. We are at such a low state on the RSI. In fact, geez, it went all the way down to 16, which is pretty uncommon. You don't see that happen quite a lot in cryptocurrency. So just keep that in mind. Zilliqa, the 4-hour time frame looks better, but we're still not over those key level resistances just yet. All right, now taking a look here at, see here, the 1 hour, we can see TD sequential, we're at a 9+1. So we're at this kind of exhaustive, tentatively exhaustive state. Not to say it can't continue. I've seen it happen, 18 hours in a row, but the likelihood of a pullback and or consolidation is higher than it is the price to continue to go straight up from here. So just be mindful of that. We could be reaching a tentative resistance, which once again is right here at about 8 cents with that key Fibonacci retracement level. But all in all, pretty good stuff. You just got to keep in mind that's a very strong increase. Once again, exuding similar behavior to Bitcoin. Bitcoin is doing very similar, minus the fact that Bitcoin's kind of on the downtrend for the last couple of hours. But overnight, Bitcoin did very well, and Zilliqa is reflecting that. So again, kind of running synonymous there. So just bear in mind, if Bitcoin corrects itself here soon, which might happen with the Fed meeting here in a couple of hours, we could anticipate the price coming back down. There is definitely a possibility of that. So just be mindful of that. I would not go all in at this point. It just seems like it's kind of too much here at this time. Maybe add a little bit, put a little skin in the game if you want, but I would expect the price to come back down first before it comes back up. And a likely potential bounce would be here. In other words, oftentimes the previous resistances are going to create themselves as new supports. So the price were to come back down, we can see a potential bounce right here at about 7.4. Okay, so just be mindful that could possibly happen. So that's essentially what we're looking at here for Zilliqa. Honestly, mostly good stuff. Just, I wouldn't say we're out of the woods yet. Okay, so try to be patient and not get too ahead of yourself. I would say add small positions, or add small amounts to your position essentially, and make sure that you're not going all in and effectively putting yourself in a position where you're going to be sad that you did later. So a lot of times, if you don't want to miss the boat, put a little money in there so you still feel good about the fact that you caught that wave if it continues higher. Of course, the inverse applies as well. Don't put everything in there, because if it does reverse on you, you're going to be sad, and it's going to be unfortunate because the fact that not only are you going to be down, but you're going to be stuck in that position until it recovers or sell at a loss. Both things are kind of unfortunate, so try to avoid that. It's best in this environment right now that we're in, based on Bitcoin having an overall downtrend, to kind of wait on the sidelines and have some money in Tether to effectively be able to buy the next dip if there were one. Okay. Again, no guarantees. 37.5 could be the bottom for Bitcoin right now, but we don't truly know that until it starts establishing higher highs and higher lows, and it's trying to do that today. Okay, good start, but once again, we'll see what happens soon. All right, well, thank you so much for joining me here. I hope that you learned something, of course. CryptoCache.tech is, again, the website if you want to become a better trader. I look forward to working with you. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thanks again for your time.